lot of people calling up wanting to hear a special bit today. I don't know why people always call up the bits that hurt me the most personally. I don't know why people always call up wanting to reopen those old wounds. Just when I feel I've got myself reasonably adapted to society. Just when I feel like I'm back on the right track. To becoming a normal citizen. To when I don't wake up at night with the cold sweats. Just when I think I've gotten over it, somebody calls up and wants to hear what it was like back in the days when the name on my uniform said Greaseman Ellie, but everybody knew me as Sergeant Fury. Pine Tree, 1967. We've been marching for 3 days. The sweat was pouring down our backs. I said, all right, man, we'll make camp here. Wisniewski, notify headquarters of our position. Dig 'em and dig 'em deep. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Just then Carter came up to me and said, Sarge, you know, about 3 more clicks down the road, there's a place run by Madame Mings. And the men are pretty hot and sweaty, and they've been out a long time, and it doesn't look like there's any danger around here. I was wondering, sir, if you wouldn't mind, sir, if we could move that extra 3 clicks down the road and stop in and see Madame Ming and the girls. Well, I thought about it. The men had trained hard. The men had fought hard. We'd lost some of our own. I thought maybe that'd be the therapy they need. I said, all right, Peters. He said, yes, sir. I said, Peters, you run on ahead. We already called in our position. We will not break air silence again. Run on ahead to headquarters. Tell them we're moving 3 clicks down the road to Madame Ming. You got it? He said, yes, sir. I said, men, stop digging. Mount up. We're going down to Madame Ming's. Now let's look sharp. We wanted to know Marines are on the way. So we started marching. Up, 2, 3, 4. Sergeant Fury is his name. Hip, 2, 3, 4. Killing commies is his name. Hip, 2, 3, 4. We're as happy as can be, 'cause we're gonna hop a dookie. And so we marched on up to Madame Ming's. And sure enough, when we got there, them dames was hanging out the windows. I said, it's too bad Peters ain't here to see this. He's gonna hate our guts. I said, all right, men, stand right here. I'm gonna go make the reservations. I walked up to the front door. The lady said, hello, G.I. I said, how you doing there, little lady? Think you can accommodate a bunch of love-starved Marines? She looked out at the gang. She said, how many are you? I said, well, let me see. There's 41 of us here without Peters. She said, well, why you come here for? I said, hey, very funny, very funny. Everybody's a comedian all of a sudden here. All right, men, come on in here. We will rotate if we have to. So sure enough, it turned out there was enough to go around. But wouldn't you know, the story of my life, just when I was getting ready to indulge in a little flagrant delecti, there I was, prime, knocking at the chamber door, when I heard the sound that made my blood run cold. Incoming! I rolled off the bed and I grabbed my Uzi, and I started firing out the window. I said, it's a trap! It's a trap! Move it! Come on, Robinson, baby! Skeleton, Di Lorenzo! I looked outside, and sure enough, they were all around the building. A couple of them were coming up the stairs. I bounced off the wall and let a barrage right down the stairs, knocking 3 of them down as they came right up. I said, come on, men, regroup upstairs in the attic! Well, we're scuttling there, slinging lead. I was hiding behind the banister with Shapiro. Shapiro said, isn't it ironic, sir? Here we are, looking for little Habba-the-Gee, and here's the NBA coming to Madame Ming's for little Habba-the-Gee. Ironic that both sides, opposed in war, joined by their love. I said, shut up, Shapiro, what are you, Ron McEwen, all of a sudden? Use that gun for crying out loud! Yeah! Yeah! Well, they were all over the place, and I thought we were going to be just dead meat right there. When Madame Ming said, trapdoor in basement. I said, man, if we could make it to the basement, we got it made. So we just shot our way down there, chomping and a biting till we got down to the basement. I lost 2 men back there at Madame Ming's. But before we went out, underneath that rug she had over the kitchen table. I left a satchel charge right there. About 100 pounds of TNT. I looked out the window and I could see they were grouping for a massive charge. They were all hopped up on drugs, and they were just going to come in and overrun us. As we made our way out the tunnel, I trailed some detonator wire behind me. The tunnel opened up on a hillside across the ridge. As we all came through and dusted ourselves off, we sat down. Just as the NVA made their big charge, I sat there with the plunger. They all ran inside the place. I said, Madam Ming, would you like to do the honors? And she took her dainty derriere and sat on the plunger. And boom, all the kingdom come! And then I grabbed Cow Fang by the hand and said, now then, my dear, I believe you and I had something to discuss in the elephant grass.
Hey, when it comes to crazy, this man wrote the book, and he'll be signing autographs immediately after the show. Greaseman.